Hello, all from crypto miners and everyone else that are here to enjoy this AMA. We have Redlight Finance here with us today as crypto miners. My name is Mary, and we will learn lots about this great project. And here to tell us about it is, well, the whole team, I think. We have Indiana Gems, Shiro, Alex, Red, someone else, Joe.
Yeah, Joe's
Lots of
coming. He's
people.
just he's just trying to get into it now. So yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah, thanks for hosting us.
No.
Yeah,
Welcome.
we've done yeah, thanks for the welcome. We've done quite a few AMAs, so been around the traps a bit. So I guess we'll do introductions. So you've already gone through team names. So my name's Leo,
Yeah.
aka Indiana Gems, also the CEO of Redlight Finance. I guess give you a little bit of background of myself. So been in
Please.
crypto about 5-6 years. Was an investor, just participating in ICOs and the like. Obviously looking for good projects to go into. Obviously building on the expansion of how crypto has changed. Like the landscape's changed quite a bit now since I started. I guess a bit about my background. I've got my own label company. I manage agricultural farms and provide workers outside of crypto. Obviously, I have the CEO of Redlight Finance itself, so that's my secondary business, I guess you could say. Bit about my background. So I actually am a qualified infrastructure engineer. I've worked in IT for about close to 12, 13 years now. I'm no longer obviously in that as an active occupation, but that's kind of my background. I obviously have business management, project management background as well. I've worked in banking and finance and the like. I guess with crypto itself, how we started Redlight Finance. We started off like a core group, kind of like yourself, crypto miners. We started off called Redlight Token District, and that was obviously, passing on kind of my knowledge about, vetting projects, looking for what to look for, kind of, I guess, stake markers and stuff like that for good projects to invest in, what to look for, what not to, and that kind of like. And then we basically built a community up from that. Obviously, I've got some good friends here. All the dev team are really close to me. We're all really good friends in real life. So, I met Shiro, also named Bailey, and Rory, also known as Red, through crypto as well. So they were in it from the start. Obviously met Alex through that core group as well. And that was when Node season was really, really kicking up a gear. And then we kind of banded together. And then we decided to create our own project. But we'll go into that a little bit later. But I'll just let the introductions go around so you get an idea and feel for the team. So I guess I'll pass it on to either Alex or Rory, whoever's free first, and we'll go from there.
Great. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll jump in. So I'm Rory, or otherwise known as Red. So I'm the COO here, or Chief Operating Officer. That's a quick background for me. Won't bore you like Indy's trying to do, but I've been in crypto for about, 4 years roughly now, I'd say. And my main background comes in the sales management and just sales in general, and in particular in the corporate side of things. So yeah, just basically did a lot of the, stuff in the background, just making sure everyone's working at the rate they're expected to work when we've got tough deadlines, and just making sure everyone's on top of their own projects, and overall just making sure everything's going as smooth as possible, considering how much we've, you could say, exponentially grown in the last 9 months or so since we started all of this. Yeah, that's about all for me. So I'll pass it over to Alex if you're around.
Yeah, sounds good. Just about to fight a hurricane. No. So yeah, my name's Alex. I'm the Chief Technology Officer here at Redlight Finance. Been in crypto since about 2015. I really fell in love with, the Bitcoin scene and Ethereum and what it really stood for. Back then, it was a little bit different than it is now. That's for sure. It's not the same. It was more of everyone together, and now it seems like it's going more and more apart, especially with all the scams out there. So when I got it started with smart contract development and wanting to do my own project, I wanted to make sure that we did it right. And I found Leo through the call group, through a mutual friend. we had the same mindset. The entire team has the same mindset of what we want to do and how we want to accomplish things, and it kind of just really, fell together, and we just made something that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and then
I'll go ahead and I'll pass it on to Shiro, our baby of the group.
Yeah, so
All
I
right,
am
let's
the
go,
youngest
Shiro.
of the group. My name's Bailey, or otherwise known as Shiro to the community. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer of Redlight Finance. So a bit about myself is kind of started my journey along with Rory and Leo about, we've kind of been working alongside each other for the past 3 years. We created the core group, and then created our own project. And as far as marketing goes, I've always been in a marketing background. I've managed social medias with multiple millions of followers. So gained a lot of US connections through that, and especially in the social media scene. So that benefits a lot when it comes to crypto marketing, getting the word out there, and also being, as I'm in the younger generation, a bit tech savvy. So we learn how to use marketing tools to basically catapult ourselves forward. And we've been ever growing for the past 9 months, ever since we launched our company. So that's a bit about me. And we also have our Chief Financial Officer, Joe. He's not here today. He's off at a few meetings, but yeah, he handles all the finance stuff of the business. And yeah, we love Joey. But that's about the team. We all work together, and we working together is what makes us best, because we all have our individual roles, but whenever someone needs a helping hand, we're always there to provide it.
Very nice. We have a Joe raising his hand now. Is that your Joe?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's him. Yep.
Been out of his meeting, so yeah, bring Joey up.
Hello, Joe. You're the last man standing here.
He always
To tell us about yourself, I mean.
He's probably just organizing his headphones and stuff like that. So yeah.
I see. No worries. So maybe if we will get back to you, Joe, then when you're ready. What if you could just give me a brief introduction, and for everyone in here who doesn't know anything about Redlight Finance, like an elevator talk, or
Yeah,
pitch.
like an elevator pitch. Yeah, so a quick summary. I guess I'll take this and then I'll pass it on to Alex, as I know he'll basically, build on what I've got to say as well. So, Redlight Finance. So what is Redlight Finance? So basically Redlight Finance in itself is a full ecosystem. So this is obviously DeFi crossed with real world business. Now what we've got is we've got a couple of things which we've released. So we started off as a node protocol called Redlight Node District. And then we basically pivoted it into a full-fledged international company. So we're basically registered in 3 different countries at the moment, with another 2 ongoing. So we're registered in Dubai, Australia, and Singapore. So we're looking at registering in Europe and in Asia as well again. Now we obviously have our own blockchain, which is called Redlight Chain, which is a gasless EVM one, which I'll let Alex talk about just after this. We also have our own passive income protocol, which is called Scarlet Chains. So that is for people that might not know or might not have been involved, I guess, in the node craze the node season. It's basically where you have NFTs, and you can kind of they're used as passive income. So they basically draw rewards, and then obviously you cash out the rewards, compound, and the like. So we've got that. We also released our own NFT marketplace, which is called Midnight Trades, and all of this is all built on our gasless chain, which is Redlight Chain. We also have our own DEX, which is called Dawn Swap. So that does, like normal swaps, kind of like Pancake Swap, Uniswap, much the same. And then we've also got future things that we're bringing out. But in essence, we're just a full ecosystem, DeFi ecosystem, really pushing the boundaries. So we actually have, external business. So we have Everlast Harvesting, which is basically a hydroponics factory, and then we have a couple of other business investments which are flowing back into the company itself. But I'll pass it over to Alex just to talk a little bit about the blockchain, because that's, he loves to talk about that, but that's in essence what Redlight Finance is as a whole. But we kind of just want to push what the chain is really about as well.
Yeah, go ahead. gas. It's without gas, right? Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, correct. So it's a 100% fully gasless blockchain. And we mean gasless as in completely zero, not 0.0000001 or any other subsidiary of that number. We mean actually zero. And you're not going to stake a token to get another token like some other proclaimed gasless blockchains. It's legitimately when you do a transaction on our blockchain for anything, whether it be buying a token, sending coins, or just interacting with the ecosystem, you will be paying zero gas. And that's what's really important. We identified from the trilemma, the biggest one is scalability. And we wanted to affect that. The only way that I possibly could see that, and we all came to an agreement on this, is because of gas. You can't scale blockchains into industries that otherwise would not adopt blockchain technology if there was gas. And because of this, it led us to the developments of creating a gasless blockchain. And a lot of the questions came, well, how do you combat network congestion? How do you combat, people purposely sending network attacks? And so we had to develop an advanced queue system, which we call the pocket system, that scales with network usage to allow us to, instead of scaling gas to combat network congestion and network attacks, we scale validation pockets so that way we can maintain zero gas without taking away from any of the speed or security of the blockchain.
So gasless, is that, I mean, that doesn't exist elsewhere, right? You are the first doing this.
We're the first truly gasless EVM1 compatible blockchain, correct?
Mm-hmm. But you're also, I read something about Avalanche. Where does that come in? Because you are your own blockchain.
Yeah, so Avalanche, our first project was on Avalanche. It was called Redlight Node District. That was our first passive income project, and then we used that and we developed the blockchain, and I guess you could say our V2 of that project called Scarlet Chain, which Indy alluded to earlier.
Okay, that's really interesting. So when did you guys launch? When did you launch?
We originally launched back in January, and we came out with the Redlight Node District. And then from there, we grew rapidly. Indy can attest to this. We grew more than we thought we would grow, which led to a little bit of complications in our original game plan for Redlight Node District, and that kind of forced our hand into the development of our blockchain much sooner than we originally anticipated. But it turned out to be for the better because we came out with our awesome blockchain. And our V2 version of our passive income called Scarlet Chains. And of course, with a blockchain, we wanted to develop as well an NFT marketplace, which we call Midnight Trades, and a decentralized exchange as well to complement the blockchain, so it's not just out on its own.
So you have so many utilities you talked about already. NFT marketplace is one.
Yeah.
And that is already launched also.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we basically, when we brought out the blockchain, you bring out a blockchain, you can't just be like, okay, the blockchain's out, guys, build on it. So we obviously, like Alex spoke about before, we had our first passive income project, which was a node protocol, which was called Redlight Token District. Now we basically migrated that across, and we developed Scarlet Chains, which is the new improved version of that. Now with that coming out, like, I guess I'll give you a quick brief of what Scarlet Chains is. Scarlet Chains is based around NFTs that basically draw passive income, so they generate rewards. With what's called our SCAR token, which can be traded for, USDTR or REDLC or whatever you want to do with it. Now, in doing so, because it's NFT based and you need a DEX, because it's our own blockchain, we couldn't, for example, piggyback on anybody else. So we had to implement and develop our own. So therefore we created Dawn Swap, which is our own decentralized exchange. In doing so, we needed an NFT marketplace to be able to trade our NFTs, which are being generated from, Scarlet Chains and further products coming down the line, like Dusk, which we'll go into later. Now, all of these had to be attested to and launched at the same time. So when we actually launched our blockchain, we actually launched a suite of about 4 to 5 products at the same time, because there's no point in just releasing your blockchain and then not doing anything else. So what we did was we aligned it so that when we released the blockchain, we had Scarlet Chains, which came out, which is our passive income protocol. We had Midnight Trades, which came out, which is our NFT marketplace. Then we had our DEX, which was DawnSwap, which came out. And then just a little bit later, we had our validator dashboard, which complements our blockchain for scalability, as well as running that blockchain itself, in essence.
So how many projects do you have now on your blockchain?
Well, we have those right now. We have about we've got about 6 to 7 which are coming on board. We've got countless partnerships now. So we had an existing partnership with Nitro. We've got one. Yeah. So we had one with we've got another partnership with Sphere Finance. We've just actually got a new partnership, which is talks to the space of security, auditing, KYC of a new kind, and that's with our brand new partners, True Seekers. And then the further things that we're bringing out is upgrades. So for example, DawnSwap, we're bringing out a token locker, a multi-sig, as well as our Q Locker. We're bringing out our own NFT game. We're bringing out our own casino, which is called Stardust Club. So we've got about more than a dozen which are coming out. So it's just a process. Developments have been finished for most of these. They will be releasing as time goes on. But currently we have about 5 things that are currently working correctly on our blockchain.
So they're like for a bit of this being community built, so things that we haven't developed ourselves, but they've developed for our blockchain. At the moment, there's about 5 of those up and running, and there's been, around 15, maybe 20 other ones that have been on there already that have kind of come and gone as tokens can do. But yeah, there's 5 other community built ones on DawnSwap as well at the moment, and on Redlight.
So how do you choose which one can come on there, or can anyone do that without telling you? Or
it's a fully decentralized blockchain, so it's EVM1 compatible.
Okay,
just like Ethereum, just like Avalanche, Phantom, Binance, anybody and everybody can develop and launch on the blockchain.
Yeah, all right. But do you promote the good ones, right, on your web page?
Only the ones that we're actively partnered with.
Okay. And how do you get partnered with you then? If I have a project and I'm looking around which blockchain and I see, oh, here's a gasless blockchain, I want that. How do I do?
Well, you can apply for our grant program, and that would catapult you into a partnership, basically, because we're giving you money for your development if we do actually believe in your project and what it stands for, etc., and you meet all the qualifications and requirements.
That isn't a requirement, though. So it's the same as say if you were to launch a token or a project on either BSC or on Ethereum, you wouldn't necessarily need to have a partnership with them to be able to create your own token and your own project. So that's up to you. Obviously, we are always looking for new partners and people to want people to apply for the grant program, which we're getting set up more, professionally, which will make it easier for people to be able to apply for that as well. But yeah, there's nothing stopping anyone that knows how to do their own coding and everything from launching their own project and having their own community and everything like that. Just have it on Redlight Chain, where all the transactions will be gasless, whether it's minting NFTs, whether it's trading, swapping, whatever it might be. You're not going to have to pay that gas fee.
So normally when you have gas fees, that goes to some development or other things, I guess. How do you do that? No.
There's a common misconception that gas fees pay for blockchain development or anything like that. Gas fees are solely used to pay for validation or validation pools like Avalanche does. And in Avalanche's case, they actually burn their gas. So they're not using gas to pay validation. And that's the same for us. We're not using gas to pay validators as well.
Okay. That's cool. So it doesn't cost anything to put my project on your blockchain.
Correct.
Very nice. But still, you are quite new. How do you plan to get the masses on there, you know? Because you write about since it's gasless, maybe big industries and maybe even hospitals can start using the blockchain because it's gasless. How will you do that? How will you get their attention and get them on there? What's your plan?
Shiro, you want to talk about your marketing?
Sorry,
So,
I
okay.
didn't quite grasp that question. Could you please repeat it, and then I'll answer it for you?
No, I mean all these big companies that you are hoping that can now use blockchain better because it's gasless, without gas. How do you plan to reach out to them to reach them to get their attention?
Okay, so
Marketing, basically.
oh, well, this is kind of marketing question as well as a BDM question. So I'll take the first part of this. So, okay, so we talk about, real world, I guess, integration to the blockchain. Now, one of our actual partners, which I didn't mention, I should have mentioned, which is very imperative, is we have partnered with Crobotics. Now, Crobotics are very specialized with businesses in Web 2. So they build applications like, phone applications, mobile applications, business databases, and the like. Now, we've partnered with them, and they've given us a lot of clients that are very, very interested in moving into the Web3 space. Now, by that, I mean using blockchain technology to like you alluded to a little bit, to secure database, to do secure transfers, to do high-speed transactions, and security. Like, for example, there was in Australia itself, there was a huge data breach with Optus, where a lot of people's data was stolen. Now, for example, that's on a database that could be hacked. If it was on the blockchain, that couldn't possibly happen unless there was, a leak from front to end, but the database itself would be secure on the blockchain. Now, with Crobotics itself, what actually happens is they will actually help us integrate this traditional businesses that have, Web 2 applications, like, for example, we could just talk about a business maintenance system and how that could be integrated onto the blockchain. Now, that has a facet where they've got a wire system which could be integrated onto the blockchain itself, and this hence gives a doorway to moving into the crypto space for traditional business. Now, one of the things and one of the biggest hindrances and barriers, like Alex has spoken about prior, is gas. Now, people think, oh, but gas is, you pay a little bit of gas, you pay a fee. That doesn't necessarily mean what the barriers could be. What we are saying that's an unnecessary cost for a business. When it comes to business analysis and costing, you always have to look at the budgets. Now, when you're looking at the budgeting, you don't know how much gas is going to cost because you don't know how congested a network might be, how much gas it might be. So therefore, you have a fluctuating value which you can't cost for. If you have something that's gasless, no need to worry about that cost itself. You just know that the integration from A to B can be done with no cost. So therefore, that's why being a gasless blockchain itself opens the massive doorway. Now, how do we get clients? I have a business myself. I have a quite big business background, as well as Joe himself. So we have those business connections. Now, those connections we have leveraged. One of those was to get introduced to Crobotics and a partnership with them. Now, Crobotics itself brings in traditional businesses that they've worked with. They've built over 3,000 applications for clients. And that's, judging from Facebook to Uber to Square, really big reputable companies that have used their services. And that helps leverage basically Redlight Finance to open that doorway to those businesses to be able to be integrated.
Very good. Yeah, sounds very legit. So are you having a big marketing campaign also coming then, Shiro, or that's your business,
Yeah,
right?
no, of course. Yeah. So as far as marketing goes, as far as getting our project out to the masses, so as a team, one thing we do is we travel to a lot of expos to gain connections, and it also helps us in gaining marketing connections as well about different types of companies and how they can assist us. So that is one part of the marketing. But as far as that, other things go, I'm very connected in the social space. So we have a lot of influencers that we also connect to. We currently have quite a large Reddit campaign going on. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Crypto Moonshots, but they're about a 2 million subscribed Reddit page. I think you call Reddit pages, yeah. And there's along with 20, 30 subreddits as well, where we're all trending for dailies and weeklies as well. We're looking into getting a massive YouTube campaign going on very soon as well. And obviously there's the typical crypto marketing where you advertise on Etherscan and all that type of stuff. So we're doing everything traditionally, but also we go outside of it because we, as a team, not just myself, we have a lot of connections in the space, and that's what's made us grow to this large scale so quickly, is just the connections that we've had in our crypto journey prior to the company. So it's been really good.
That sounds awesome. Yeah. I mean, you are a huge team, right? And I like the fact that the core team, you know each other so well already, because that is always a good security, I think, for people who wants to invest, to know that the team is like, they know each other. You are docs to each other, and you know where you are. And
yeah, of
and
course,
things.
of course. Our
Yeah.
team is very close because, like I just said in my previous question, sometimes we're traveling around the world together to all these expos to educate more people on what Redlight Finance is and what the Redlight Finance brand is looking to achieve long term and short term. So, well, when you're traveling around the world with people, you tend to make friendships and stuff like that. We are very close, and yeah.
Yeah. Another thing that I would like to go through is the utility of the coin. I mean, if I buy the coin, what can I expect? I mean, I can stake it, I guess, and what else can I get? Because you said something in the beginning, you have like businesses outside that the revenue from the businesses goes into the project. Does that mean to the holders of the coins, or to the company?
We operate just like a traditional business on the crypto side, and we utilize our revenue and towards expenses across our entire ecosystem. One of those expenses is providing liquidity for our passive income project. So that's what Leo was alluding to for that. As far as the utility of the coin, it's blockchain, so it's a complete governance coin, so you can use it for any governance reasons on the blockchain for any project. Yeah.
Okay. So it is a business, obviously, and it's run like a business, you said. So how do you interact with your community, and
I'm in Discord every day.
Yeah, but do they have a say in decisions?
No, we're not a DAO.
Or no, they can't vote or anything like that.
No, so
there's a yes or no there, right? So like we're not like a DAO or anything like that where people get voting rights and stuff like that. However, we do, like, because we're so active in our community and we're in there pretty much every day, if not every day, at least one of us in there having a chat with people, we do definitely take on board any sort of suggestion that comes up, any sort of feedback. We quite often have, well, not as often as we used to, but we often have AMAs just within our community as well, where we're taking that kind of feedback as well, and seeing what we can do, what we can't do, and yeah, taking on that feedback to make sure everyone, try and get as most people as happy as possible, basically.
That's great. Well, you mentioned something about hydroponic business. Can you elaborate a little bit about that? Because that's really interesting.
Yeah, so we have an external business which is called Everlast Harvesting. Now, Everlast Harvesting is a full hydroponics business where we identified a need. So that need was obviously, hydroponic vegetables, so organic vegetables. There's quite a high demand, for example, in Australia where the factory is actually based. Now, the reason why we set that up is through our business connections. For example, through myself and Joe, we had connections in the market that for the vegetable distributors as well as fruit and stuff like that. So we know the distribution network there. So they were asking, they're like, did you guys think about doing anything like this? And we said yes. And we just happened, a lot of pieces fell into place with it. Like, we just happened to know somebody who had like a really, really good system that we could utilize. But the thing was, they couldn't do it by themselves. So we jumped in, we basically fostered that, and we created another company. So you could say it's an investment arm. Now, the profits and stuff like that are going to be pushed back into Redlight Finance. So we've got something called the Twilight Trust, which is going to be coming out. And that Twilight Trust is basically all the business profits that we generate. So it might be from Everlast harvesting, might be some of the taxes that we draw from, Dawn Swap, or any other profit that we draw from, maybe from our mining that we might be setting up later. All those profits get put into there, and people can actually stake our governance coin, so which is Redlight Coin or REDLC, as well as some SCAR. And what happens is that profit is divided by the pool weight of somebody that goes in. So, they might put, say, $1,000 worth of REDLC, and they'll get a return of like $500 in USDTR back every week. So basically, those business profits are stroking the rest of our ecosystem, because our whole ecosystem revolves around REDLC and making sure it's interlocked with every piece that we have. So, for example, we have something called BRO, which is burning the red light oil, and what that might, be like, what does that mean? He's basically a buy and burn bot. So we actually have taxes that go to him, and he's the one who's actually steadily increasing our floor price for REDLC. So he does buybacks, and then he basically burns it. So we've burnt about $9 million worth of REDLC now. So we have a lot of inflows from different parts of the business to make sure that everything is circular with our profits and going back to our investors, to make sure, that our project stays afloat and very profitable as we rise, our price for everything all around.
Yeah, that's really good. That's what I meant. So if I hold a token, I can get revenue from it if I stake it, or from this pool then. That's
Yeah,
great.
so there's different utilities that the government's coin has. The coin itself, has value, but it's in the ecosystem where you can place it. So you can either stake it in different pools, you can put it in the trust, you can use it to buy other tokens that we have coming out later. So there's a huge utility just having REDLC itself, as well as the increasing value for it.
You also mentioned SCAR token and this Redlight coin. So what is? Can you tell me?
Yeah.
Why do you have two?
Yeah.
What are they for?
Okay, so as mentioned before, REDLC is our governance token for our blockchain, so that has utility in itself. Now, SCAR token is something different, so that's actually involved in our passive income protocol. So our passive income protocol project is called Redlight Chain, therefore it has the SCAR token. Yeah. So what that does is, for example, I'll just give you a very top tier explanation of what it is. There's three different, chain tiers. Now, each chain tier derives how much SCAR that you will produce a day. So we'll say, red tier before taxes will actually give you 0.2 SCAR. So right now, SCAR is stabilized. So we actually have stabilized pricing at $20. So it doesn't go up, doesn't go down. There's a little bit of band between. It might go up to 21, it might go down to 19, but it's pretty stable at $20. So you're guaranteed, if you generate one SCAR from Scarlet Chains itself, you can exchange that for $20 USDT. Now, people can either compound that to build their chains to make it more profitable, or they can sell it and draw that and spend it where they like. So they can spend it in other protocols, they can spend it in Redlight's ecosystem, or they can go and buy, a hamburger. It doesn't really matter. It's up to them. It's their profits that they're drawing from. But that's the differentiation between the two. SCAR is basically a token which is attested to that one protocol, which is Scarlet Chains, while REDLC is the governance coin of our whole ecosystem, which is built on Redlight Chain itself.
Yeah, all right. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that. We have lots of hands in here, lots of people who wants to ask questions. So I will soon open up for some questions, if that's okay with you guys. I would like also to have you tell me a little bit about the future of Redlight Finance. You have achieved lots so far, and what's ahead? What's coming?
Yeah, so we have a lot of things. Yeah, Alex is going to let me take this. So we have a lot of things coming out. So we've got a dozen, like I'm talking like, upwards of like 8 projects that are going to be launching on us. We obviously haven't made this announcement yet, but we've closed those deals. Very excited to present those later. But I guess we'll just talk about the internal protocols. So the ones that, I'm developing, Alex is developing. So I'll let Alex take some of the other questions, what he's developing. But for example, I touched on the Twilight Trust. That's not out yet, which will be our staking protocol. That will be coming out where you can obviously stake, REDLC, you can get rewards back for that by staking. We're also going to bring out our own centralized exchange, which is a little bit different. It's going to have certain elements that nobody else has done before. It's called Eventide, and then we're going to have our own launch pad, which is going to be called Aurora Nights, and that's where we actually secured quite a big partnership with a very innovative bunch called True Seekers. So every project that is going to be launched on our own launch pad, so Aurora Nights is going to be KYC'd as well as KYC docs and audited at different tiers. So to make sure that people that are investing in our ecosystem or projects that are part of our ecosystem or launching our ecosystem itself, feel safe in the DeFi space, because, God knows there's so many rugs that happen. So at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we're looking after, the investors as much as possible. And that's one way of doing it itself. We have something called Redlight Secure, which is going to be business transactions. We have something called Project Eclipse, which is going to be an escrow service for business to business transactions. We have another project, which is called Pandora's Vault, which is basically a fiat transfer system as well as a debit card system, kind of like what Crypto.com has done, as well as it's going to be our native wallet. So, you've got applications like MetaMask, you've got applications like Trust Wallet itself. So this will be Redlight's. Oh, there's a bit of echo. This is going to be Redlight's actual DApp wallet itself. So every functionality that Trust Wallet has will have the same kind of interactions as well as added utility onto it. So we have some other further projects later on down the line, something called the Third Eye, which is basically around augmented reality and authentication. But those are kind of the extensive roadmap as well as everything else. But we have a really, really exciting NFT game which is coming out, which I'll pass to Alex because I know he loves to talk about it too.
Yeah, so we have a fully ran NFT game that's a play-to-earn game that's 100% NFT based, which would not be possible on any other blockchain because of the issue of gas.
Somebody's typing. Yeah, that's great. So you have so many things. So many things. Another thing that I was wondering, that is, I always ask this about from projects, education of people. I mean, to teach them how to navigate in this kind of new system. I mean, for you guys who have been here for years, you know everything. But for a new person who comes in here, it's so many steps to do before you can buy a token or a coin and lots of different things. Are you planning to have some like education online for your community, for people?
Yeah, 100%. So we started building this out a little while ago, a little bit before we actually launched Redlight Chain and Scalability chains and everything else we've sort of been covering off today. But we are building out something called Redlight Education, which is going to be basically exactly what you've just said, right? A lot of people out there, whether they've been in crypto for 1 day, 1 month, even people, 1 year, 2 years into it.
So what were you doing at Spring Farm?
What? Is that you, Shiro?
Oh, sorry. My bad.
All good. Sorry, I lost a little train of thought there. But so we're building out something called Redlight Education that's going to, the idea with it is to be able to help people understand anything I wouldn't say anything and everything, but as much as we can got to do with crypto, whether it's just starting out, how to trade on exchanges, things like what crypto actually is, how to set up your MetaMask wallet, add different networks, and basically everything in between there as well. So it'll be an ongoing development, and something that we're all really excited to. And that's another thing that like our community is going to have a lot of input in as well, and have had input into things that they think would be beneficial, or maybe things that can be improved based on what other educational services are out there as well. So yeah, we're looking forward to getting that up and running as soon as possible.
Really good. I like that. So I get some questions here sent to me from Twitter Space. There's one saying, I noticed that earlier this month, Redlight signed a memorandum of understanding with eDaily. So could you explain to me for what reasons this has been done, and what kind of relevance this has for the continued development and growth of the Redlight?
Are they sure they have the correct Redlight? Because we have no idea what you're talking about when it comes to.
Okay, sorry, maybe not then.
With eDaily.
Okay, must have been the wrong one then. Sorry about that. Let's go to the next one. Here's one for you, Indiana. The Redlight CEO said his life changed when he started his own contract labor business with multiple employees. Does the CEO plan to incorporate multiple workers into the project and transfer the same work model with which he started his own business?
Yeah, so I guess how we've kind of built Redlight itself. If you go into our Discord, we've kind of adopted that now. As far as hiring massive heaps of workers, yes, we have an extensive team. There's obviously 5 in the main development team itself. We obviously have our own coding house that is only works for us. So they're basically the ones who do our coding. But if you go into our Discord, we've got like 3 community managers. We've got our own BDM manager as well, so he helps generate business as well as contract negotiations for new people to come on board. We have a human resource executive, we have a customer service people executive as well. We have a huge team of moderators, as well as we have people who speak different languages, so might be bilingual, trilingual, so we have that to accommodate people. We also have another group called supporters, so those are people who are in the Discord quite a lot and just support people as well. So that spans not just only in Discord itself, but over to Telegram as well. So the business model that I guess that I've adopted for my own business is kind of how we run Redlight Finance in the DeFi space itself. There's a lot of crossovers on how things can be structured, because DeFi kind of gets lost in the traditional structure of things. Like we noticed once we started growing quite rapidly, we had to open up a Trello board. We had to have a lot more meetings just to make sure that we were on timelines. Nothing got fell through the cracks. Just to make sure that we made sure that we were going to launch everything on time, that everything was ticked off, that we needed to get done. So that crossover, yes, came across. I guess the way I run my business outside of it, it has been transferred into the DeFi space itself. But as far as a full-fledged model, as we grow, we look at actually bringing on people full time, hiring them as we draw profits from other streams. But that's definitely something that we're looking to in the future to expand to, because at the end of the day, DeFi business is not that much different to your traditional business. I guess there's just a little bit of differences in I guess some of the regulations that happen. Traditional business is obviously more constrained than DeFi itself, but the actual structure, how everything should be done, are very, very, very much alike.
Yeah. Talking about regulations, are you preparing for regulations to come? What do you believe will happen with the crypto world there? I mean, what? Yeah.
Well,
No one knows
regulations itself, there's obviously things, with the collapse of Luna, with stable coins, governments obviously seeking to protect investors. Obviously, being in the DeFi space itself, it's a lot more unregulated than normal business. You don't have, like the security funds and stuff like that monitoring as I guess, proficiently as they could when you think about it, because the anonymity of blockchain technology prevents that. But, there are safeguards that have been put in, like what we said when we partnered with Truth Seekers, having projects that are accountable, having their wallets kind of like the books being open. So you kind of know where the money's going to, where investors' money is being spent, and things like that. So those safeguards are slowly rolling in. Now, as far as how aggressive the regulations are going to come in, the government's always threatened that they're going to be quite aggressive with it, but yet they don't know the plan of attack where to go. So, exchanges have been regulated, very, very heavily regulated in the last 1 to 2 years. Now, that's obviously point A, and then you've got point B, which is the consumer. So all those things come along. So at the end of the day, you can only just adapt and push through and work with what you have. So as regulations get laid out, we obviously, we'll look at those and think of, okay, what's the best for our community? What's the best for our investors? What can we do to abide by those guidelines to make sure that, at the end of the day, our investors are safe and we're abiding by everything that's, constrained on Redlight Finance.
Yeah, very good. So just prepare and go with the flow and see what happens, and be ready for whatever they bring out. Great. I think we should have some questions from the audience. Is there something else that you would like to tell us before we move on to that part?
No, we're happy to answer any questions that your community has. I'm sure they're chomping at the bit. I can see a lot of hands being raised, so I've got a feeling it's going to be a quite lengthy question and answer.
So, how much time do you have, guys? When is your next appointment? So we can work with your time the best we can.
That's all right. We'll just take it as it goes, and then we'll let you know.
Mm-hmm. So, guys, anyone in here who has a question for the team of Redlight Finance, please raise your hand. And when I call your name and unmute you, please ask your question and then also mute yourself right after. Okay, let's see who we have here. There was someone up a long time ago. Oh, Telegram is always a pain. Let's have Chucky up here. Hi, Chucky. How's it going?
Hello, Mary. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. What is your question?
All right. Yeah, so my question for Redlight is regarding their passive income mechanism, because I've actually been following their projects for a while. I know when they were on some space with some crypto influencers, especially Travelers, but they didn't quite touch on their passive income strategy. So, and I saw something passive income protocol Scarlet Chains. So I want to know if the passive income is in any way related to your Scarlet Chains or if they are two different mechanisms. Thank you.
Yes, our passive income protocol is Scarlet Chains. Thank you.
All right. Does that answer enough?
To be able to use the passive. Actually, no. I wanted to know like how we can be able to access the passive income future. What do we have to do to use to get benefits of the passive income?
So if you head over to Redlight.finance, you click on white papers. There's a white paper for Scarlet Chains that'll go over the overview of Scarlet Chains itself. When you fully understand it and you're ready to go, you can go to Don Swap and you can purchase SCAR token, and then you can go over to our Scarlet Chains DApp, which is scarletchains.finance, and you can go ahead and start to manage your passive income, purchase into the passive income protocol based on what you understand from the white paper.
Yeah, and just to build on that as well, if you have any issues or anything like that, or you wanted some advice, well, I shouldn't say financial advice, but if you wanted some pointers, you can join our Discord. Like I said, we have mods, we have our supporters there. We have a game theory channel, which will basically give overviews of how people are actually generating their passive income and how they're actually utilizing Scarlet Chains itself.
So is Discord the way to go, not Telegram? Discord, that's where you are the most. in answering
Yeah,
anyone's questions. Or...
so we've got both channels. So we've got nearly 9,000 people in our Telegram. So we have administrators and mods in there, but we're mainly based off Discord. The reason being is Discord's a lot easier for, I guess, bigger kind of projects that have multiple, I guess, protocols linked to it, like ourselves. So we've got, different channels can be organized and things like that. We just find it interaction based a lot easier itself. Like, if you go to our Twitter, which our handle is at Redlight, we have a link tree there and has all of our links for everything, all of our socials, all of our white papers, all of our Medium articles, which detail, I guess, all of our protocols which are currently out.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So let's bring up Victor. Hi, Victor. Do you have a question? Oh, he changed his name.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Mary, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you? Do you have a question for the
I'm
team?
good. Yeah, I do. I was wondering if any project was to launch or wants to launch on your blockchain, what would be the requirement for the project to do such a thing?
Much like how you would launch a project on, BSC, you'd obviously have somebody who can interact with the smart contract or can develop a smart contract, through React or Remix, and then you just launch it the same way. Redlight Chain itself is EVM compatible. So as you think of, BNB, Ethereum, Avalanche, Phantom, basically all the main chains that, most things that get developed on, we're exactly the same. We're no different.
Oh, all right. Because the reason I asked is because the Binance chain is a very good chain actually, but the challenge we are facing on this chain is that there are a lot of scam projects out there. So I don't know if you would put some measures in place to ensure that such scam projects will be regulated or will not really launch
No,
on
we have
your
no
blockchain.
regulation power over what launches. The thing that you have to do as an investor is research and to research the project thoroughly to ensure that you don't get scammed.
All right, fantastic. Okay, I think you've done justice to my question. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And let's have someone else up here. TML, Golem. Hello, TML. Do you have a question for us? You have to unmute yourself. Maybe not.
So I think we have time
Mastermind?
for one more question. If we want to take one
Okay.
more question.
Mastermind, do you have a question?
Yeah, I do. Hello, Mary.
Hello.
I must say you guys are really doing well. But one thing I'm not really clear about that I'd like to know is, I did not really hear you say anything about the launch of your NFTs. I would like to know, is there a particular buying-in price, and what will be the amount of NFTs they can own? And then also in the phase 4 of your roadmap, you said something about the multi-chain launchpad. There is this idea of projects launching on multiple chains now. So aside the Avalanche launch chain, which is on the phase 2 of your roadmap, what other multi-chains are you planning on launching?
Yeah, great question. So for the NFT question, definitely implore you to read our white paper because you're going to have more questions in regarding to the NFTs and their passive income and how much you can hold and what they produce, which is all available on the white paper, which you can find on redlight.finance under white papers, and you can click on Scarlet Chains for information on that. As far as our multi-chain launchpad, we're coming out with this launchpad to better facilitate different types of projects and what they could want to possibly do for their solution to what they're doing as a project. Hence why we're going in the multi-chain aspect. So if a project, for example, wants to develop a multi-stage NFT game that has different realms across different blockchains, through our launchpad, they would be able to facilitate the launching of those smart contracts on different blockchains all at the same time.
Awesome. Very quickly now, talking about the new improved Twilight Trust, what will be the updates or the differences that we would see when it comes out? Because I see it's upcoming on phase 4.
Yeah, so the Twilight Trust is just a staking trust. If you were a participant in our previous project, you would have participated in a V1 version of that. So it's just an updated DApp, improved smart contracts, and you'll be able to stake in different tokens and coins to earn some income based on in real life and crypto developments and revenue.
Awesome. Thanks. Thanks, Mary.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mastermind. And there I am. So thank you, guys. It was a pleasure hosting you, and there's so much to cover. I guess we could go on another hour, but you said also that you have to go soon. So let's have some closing statements from you guys. Where do you see yourself in like 3 to 5 years, maybe?
We can't give financial advice or any predictions, estimates, guesstimates, or anything of the sort. But I can say that
No.
we are planning on growing exponentially within our own ecosystem and the technology that we are developing. And we want to make sure that we release things on our internal timeline appropriately. And of course, we want to release things that are finalized and not some half-assed project. So that's one of our goals. That's something that we're striving to do. And I could say so far so good with that, and we've kept all of our promises as far as development, and we've made strides to making our development pretty good.
Very nice. We're looking forward to see the future together with you then, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having us, Mary. I just want to thank you guys and everybody in here for participating and listening in about our company and our ecosystem. So thank you guys so much for having us. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Yeah, thank
certainly.
you for coming.
Not a problem. Thanks so much for hosting us.
Thanks, guys.
I love that you were so many in here. Great team.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Oh, there he is. There's the trophies.
There he is. Joe is here. Hi, Joe.
How are you, Mary?
Fine.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming. I'm echoing through you, Joe. Okay, guys, it was a pleasure having you. Have a lovely wherever you are, guys. I think you are down under mostly, right? So must be very early.
Joe's always down under. Have a great rest of your day, guys. I'm out. Peace.
Peace to you too. Bye, everyone. And thank you, everyone in here, for coming to this AMA. I will close the recording now.